summer grind, one often affected by Mother Nature. There are no guarantees this time of year. Climate control is not an option. And while these midway mashups may not be made for TV, they have the potential to become fan favorites. The question is, what is yielded by cramming 2 days worth of aggression into one afternoon, because the show on Friday was rained out. This track behind me is also very soggy. In some spots it's dry, in other spots, and that could cause problems in these corners. It could be tacky, but there's sand base down here, so where it's not slick in the mud, it's going to be slick in the grass and on the sand. Also, these drivers lost one show, so in this point series they will lose one whole gap that they could have put between themselves and somebody else. So stay with us. We'll be right back on Monster Power with all the action. Back at the Fredericksburg Ag Motorsports Park in Fredericksburg, Virginia. This is part of the annual Fredericksburg Agricultural Fair. You look at the safety clean black Stallion. Here's a look at the points coming into today's action. After 3 events, Overkill Evolution sits with a 6-point lead on Matt, Cody, and Iron Warrior. Then it's Preston, Perez in 3rd with 16 points, and he's leading by 1 point, 4th place. This guy right here, the safety clean black Stallion. Now there's been a driver change. Cory Snyder out of Bethesda, Maryland, son of Jay Snyder. Named for the Screaming Demon and later the Illuminator monster truck. Cory, nice accounting of himself, jumped into the seat of this vehicle in Mount Vernon, Ohio just 1 event ago. He's done pretty well so far. Let's see what he has here on the back set. I'm positive we'll be able to get that thing up a little bit higher. He had a little trouble on that first attempt. Let's see what he's got right here. Nicely, stands it straight up and down. He brings it back down on all 4s. He was way off to the left there. High-sided it, drove out of it. There's another look at it. That was almost a perfect sky wheelie, but the truck drifted off to his left. The rear end fell off the cars, and he had to drive out of a high side. Would not have been too bad of a crash, but you did not want to roll it right off the bat. That'll be a strong start, but the first hit may actually hurt him. Now we'll see what Preston Perez on a Spokane, Washington can do in the pool bus. And he too is up on 2 wheels. A hard hit on the right side of that vehicle. Perez has been just improving leaps and bounds. When we first saw him, his first competition run in this truck in Brookville, Pennsylvania, he had all kinds of problems. He did drive it very hard when it ran. He's not having those electrical problems here this weekend. This truck is 100%. He plans to get through this one. He would love to take a win in this wheelie competition. This is his forte. See that mud causing problems. He can't get any traction with those good gears. Hurt him right there, and again over on 2 wheels. High sides it to the left that time. We're going to get another look at this one on the backside, and again, it's back-to-back 2 trucks getting kicked off toward the pits. By that stack right there, that could spell problems during the racing. We'll wait and see. Here comes now Matt, Cody out of Williamsport, Maryland, and the Iron Warrior, and he gets right to it. You can see he also got kicked off to the outside of that stack. Matt Cody with the standing wheelie award in this truck, so you know he's got the knack for it. Let's see what he can do. He was good on the first hit. He's already started stronger. Previous to it, another solid hit right there. So it's 2 solid wheelies or a couple of spectacular wheelies out of the first 2 is going to be the question as to what the crowd is looking for, because They get to determine who wins the wheelie competition. Here comes Mikey Vaters in second, and I'm going to guarantee you right now, he's going to air this thing out. Putting on a mini freestyle, it's exactly what he does. He's running these Ukraine tires, these EcoWork tires, to get a little more traction, but he's all over the track. Throwing dirt all over the place. He actually just showered down the announcer with sod. So, we'll see. Again, it's going to depend on what this crowd's looking for. Look at the sideways launch. He was just all over this course. And again, spun it around right here. Watch the grass and dirt fly.
Black Stallion.
Waiting to find out. The crowd applause to determine. There you see Preston Perez accepting the accolades. He gets quite a cheer from him. Now, it would appear that the win will indeed go to Mikey Vaters, the second, and the Overkill Evolution machine. And it's no surprise there. Now, he really just put on more of a mini freestyle than went after a wheelie competition. But as we've said before, if it gets you the win, go ahead and do it. So look at the wheelie results, and you can see Higher Education picking up a second there, so that's worth 3 points on this tour. Iron Warrior and Black Stallion sitting third and fourth so far at this event. More to come. Monster Trucks Go Racing when we come back right here to Fredericksburg, Virginia. Stay with us.
Boston FMX.
Back at the Agricultural Fairgrounds in Fredericksburg, Virginia, getting ready for round one, Monster Truck Racing. Now you remember the mud that caused so many problems lining up during the wheelie competition? That will be somebody's starting lane on the Chicago-style course, but it will also be the exit of that turn. So the question is it to your advantage to start in that lane and end up dealing with the mud on your final turn, or deal with the bad turn and take the disadvantage around the first leg and play catch-up on the dry side going over the final jump? Find out in this matchup right here. Cory Snyder out of Bethesda, Maryland, in the safety clean Black Stallion. Only his second competition run in this vehicle. He takes on Cody in the Iron Warrior. Big jump for Cody there. He takes a sizable advantage into the first turn. Hangs to the inside of the mud. Still causes him to drift a bit, but now he goes way into the lead. Headed for the final jump. Cory Snyder just creeping around the corners here. Not sure if there's a mechanical problem on the safety clean Black Stallion. He's having some type of problem lining this vehicle up. Maybe getting used to the rear steering in that vehicle. You can see he actually had a pretty big jump on the starting line, but with the mud, he lost all that advantage. He should have had about a truck length lead on Cody with the jump he had off the start, but Cody had him after the first set of cars already. And with Snyder struggling with that truck, learning how to drive it, there was nothing he could do to catch Cody. Once Cody got that far ahead of him, you can see he almost lapped him. Now, Preston Perez in the Higher Education Cool Bus. Preston out of Spokane, Washington, will match up on this tour for the first time with Mike Vaters II in Overkill Evolution. Preston usually is on the other side of the bracket from Mikey. Mikey usually moves on to face Cody. Seems to be the way things work out. Preston will get his first shot, and there's no one he would love to beat more to take his first round one victory on this tour than to beat Mike Vaters II in Overkill Evolution. Mikey with the bad lane on the start. Let's see what happens. Preston beats him to the first set and will take almost a truck-length lead into the first turn. But he hits that mud and gets way outside, has to drive back onto the course. Struggles with that set of cars. Mikey's already back around to the final jump and will take the win. Preston Perez struggling with that mud. Will go right back to the starting line. Not where he wanted to be. Came out a little hard on the dry side, but the mud got him. Another look at it. You see Mikey, truck torques to the left. He's got the wheels, the front wheels anyway, cocked to the right, trying to get the truck straight. Does a great job getting lined back up for that first set of cars. You can see Preston with a notable advantage on the far side, but as he gets into this first turn, here you go. He hits the mud and drifts out toward the Jersey barriers. He has to drive back toward the stack. He actually clips the front corner of the first car in that stack. You can see the tires, the muddy tires sliding on the metal underneath. And then Mikey, back around, Mikey actually hung the inside tire just into the grass and kept the truck pulling rather than getting to that mud and sliding all the way to the right. He did himself a huge favor there. Back to the starting line for the third place race. This is Cory Snyder in the safety clean black Stallion. He will take on Preston Perez in higher education. Again, Preston in the dry lane for the start. Cory's right back where he didn't want to be to start this one. Waiting on the flag. Again, hesitant off the start, but Cory gets a nice jump there. Preston just sent it. Big air on that first hit. And having even more trouble in this round than he did in the previous with that mud. Preston is all over the course. I think he just handed the win to Cory Snyder. Well, Snyder having problems now. They're coming to the finish line together. Who won that one? Preston Perez in higher education appeared to get there first, but Cory Snyder was right there with him. We're going to go back to the replay on this one. Snyder, a little bit of trouble up the starting line. You can see, again, a very hesitant start. I don't know if he's struggling with the throttle or something, or if he's just trying to keep that truck from spinning. You can see Preston go flying by in the background. He had some huge air on that first hit. Then he gets into this corner. He tried to hang to the inside like Cody did and like Mikey did, but he ended up hitting that mud, and those Goodyears just had no traction. Once he got on the brakes, it just slid out. He actually had to climb back onto the course this time. Got to the cars at the same time as Cory Snyder, but the truck was all over the track. Poured it to the coals to make his way back around and make up all that time. You can hear in the background, he actually did indeed win that. And you'll see right here, pitches the nose down. Cory trying to come in low, but he's sideways. Preston dives to the finish line for the victory. He will take 2 valuable points out of that third place race. Cory Snyder will have to settle for that disappointing fourth, but he has shown improvement driving the safety clean black Stallion. We'll see in a couple more events. He's a little more used to it. We'll definitely see it freestyle a little bit, how confident he is in the truck itself. Now, the 2 hot shots. Mike Vaters the second. There you're on board with Matt Cody in the Iron Warrior. The lineup against Overkill Evolution. Mikey on the far side. Roger Moore throws the flag, and Matt Cody just throws the mud everywhere. Huge leap of the first. Mikey with a beautiful turn. He's kind of squirrely. Matt Cody trying to make up the distance. He gets into the van stack. And this one will end just the way it did last year. Matt Cody hits a freestyle obstacle and hands the win to Mikey Vaters. They'll take nothing away from Mikey. It was going to be close at the end if Matt made that corner. The muddy conditions again, causing all kinds of problems. There's your racing champion, Mikey Vaters the second. He'll take 4 more points out of this racing bracket. Here you get another look at the start. Cody came off of that side harder than anybody, just throwing clay all over the place. He knew if he could get the truck to dig, he'd be there. He had a huge leap over that stack. Mikey coming around hard
With Mr. Vaters.
in the second leg, and you can see he was struggling with that mud himself. You can see Matt with a little disadvantage going into this final corner. He tried to make it up by cutting short. He knew he was going to hit this stack. He got on the binders and just collected it right there. And then coming over the finish line jump, here's Mikey. Let off of it a little bit, I think, to avoid getting into Cody, who was backing the truck around to try to get out of that stack. Again, Mikey taking 4 points out of that, so he will extend that points lead that he had over the Iron Warrior. And in fact, you see at the bottom there, he won the overall for this event with that racing win, with a win in wheelies. And again, with the win in racing, it's 8 points now he's added to his total. Iron Warrior will take 3 points out of that, to add to the 2 he got in the wheelies, for a total of 5 so far. It's not over yet though. Freestyle. We'll see if Matt Cody can make up that loss. Coming up, stay with us. It's gonna hurt. Back in Fredericksburg, Virginia at the Fredericksburg Agricultural Fairgrounds, getting ready for Freestyle. Preston, Perez gearing up to take the first shot. There you see the standings before Freestyle. Overkill Evolution, Mikey Vaters with 41 over Matt Cody with 32 points. Preston Perez out of Spokane, Washington gets started, taking a hit on the racing lane. Sliding it around. Now they will have to deal with the mud still, but the track is actually cleaned off a bit on the outside, so they might be able to corner a little quicker as he takes on the van stack. Popped a tire on the outside of that Chevy van he just crushed down. You see that puff of air. And you can see, as wet as this track was this morning, all the dust that's flying up, so it's definitely dried out on the outside. He almost tears that one apart. Kicked the van about 7-8 feet from where it started. Hit that one hard. Collected a little bit of the racing lane there, trying to straighten up. You gotta be careful doing that. You can cut a tire that way. Nice bit of air right there. The momentum he's carrying is good. Press rub, you can see again how slick it is still. And there's dust coming off of the mud. That's how mixed this track is. There's moisture underneath the dust, so every time they dig down, you see dust kicking up. They're still finding mud down there in that soil. This is a tricky track. Big air launch for Preston. Very impressive run he's got going here. Again, problems in the mud. That'll hurt him right there. He got stuck going around an obstacle. Not what he wanted to do. Another huge hit. Comes down on the rear end. Nice job of slide over to the barriers there. Trying to get it stopped anyway. Found some dry ground and locked it up. Another look at this one. Look at that van get tossed to the side. Lands in a splash of mud right there. Here's another big air hit on this near lane. Look at the hang time. A weird sideways landing there. And then again off of the van stack. Some awesome hang time in this run. And then again over here off the racing lane. And this was probably the most spectacular hit he made with his rear end down landing. Tail first, really bouncing him around in that cab. Up next, Cory Snyder. He'll try to knock down the run that Preston Perez had just made. Preston was impressive. Let's see. Cory struggled here a bit today. Had a pretty good accounting of himself in the wheelie competition, though. Almost put the truck on its side. He's not afraid of this thing, I don't think. Right for the van stack with a nice launch, landed in the mud. the son of Jay Snyder of the Screamin' Demon and Illuminator fame. They're been very popular over the years in the DC area. Now son Cory handling another Maryland-based monster truck, Ford-powered vehicle at that. Legend in the sport, the Black Stallion, and getting some nice air right there. Swinging around, throwing mud all over the place. The big cleated, full cleat Goodyears he's got in the back of this thing. Not having too much trouble with traction, honestly, with all the cleat that he's got on this truck. He's got a pair of EcoWorks in the front, or the Ukraine tires as they're referred to, and a big old cleated set of Goodyears in the back. Now he's going to line up for a big hit. Nicely done. Drives away from it. Now can he handle that mud? No problem. Look at that. Down and dirty on that one. It's getting dusty out here, though. You can see the track is definitely drying out. He's handling this one in style, though. Let's see what he's got. Gonna come at that one sideways, and I think the clocks will wind down on him right there. Cory Snyder laying down a run. Don't know if it's gonna get over Perez or not. The momentum was there, but he had a few hiccups during the run. Again, getting used to this truck. It's a new truck for him. He's only been in one other competition run. That was in Ohio. Now, he did outdo Preston there, but that's because Preston snapped a spindle and drove over his own front tire. Though not taking anything away from Cory Snyder, he did a beautiful job here. Really not afraid of this. He proved that launching this truck over the van stacks. Who's up next? Here comes Cody out of Williamsport, Maryland, driving the Iron Warrior. This is a 21, almost 22-year-old chassis driving here. Started life as a Black Stallion 2000. Debuted in 1996. Now digging in that mud. Nice launch right there. He's getting some nice air, but the thing he's probably doing better than the other two have so far is he's keeping the momentum up as best he can, which is tough to do in this mud. It kind of pulls you wherever it wants to take you. The truck kind of just slides on it. Bashes into that Dodge Caravan, just smashes down the passenger side of that thing. That thing has taken so much punishment in just 3 runs. Back around to it with a huge air leap into the mud. Coming right at you. Back Cody. Very impressive showing here. Lining up for another hit on the racing lane. Nicely done. See what he's got left. Again, he's just hitting everything he can. It's not taking much time to line up, and that is helping him big time on this track. Another huge air leap into the mud. Through the mud and sod, and he'll lock it up right up against the front jersey barriers. See his stepfather, Roger Moore, was cheering him on during that run, trying to get the crowd pumped up. Look at this air time. Now, I don't know if it was necessarily as vertical as Preston Perez was, but he launched it further. That was a beautiful move right there. At the front end pointed, the truck was tilting to the left. Stayed on that throttle, drove it out. You hear him wrapping the throttle in the air. Big Ford performance engine. All the power he needs to drive out of it. But again, what I was saying is as big and as cleated as these tires are, you see him manage the van right there, as big and as cleated as these tires are, with all the surface area, they do not handle mud as well as you'd think they would. They really just kind of float on it. It makes them very ill handling when you get into really wet mud like this. They just kind of want to slide around. Cody laying down a run down to Mikey's gonna have to beat. Mikey just blasts out of the pits and hits that car stack sideways, comes right back for the van. And you can see how muddy center track is. It's just a bog down the middle. Look at this, hard landing on the right front of that truck. He is wasting no time getting back and forth to these obstacles. Doing a nice job here. One thing about Mikey is even when he's not getting the hang time some of the other trucks are, a little bit more move to move for the most part. If he can be, he's really throwing this truck around in the mud beautifully, and I think showing probably the most control we've seen so far tonight. This truck handles so differently from the others. Huge blast into the van stack. Carrying so much speed in there, throwing sod and dust all over the grandstand. Just move to move to move. There's not a lot left for him to pick on here to really get in the air, so he has to hit everything extra hard and make it look this spectacular. And again, coming from the outside, hard side slap there. And he just tapped the edge of that barricade. He's getting some good hang time. Again, I don't know if the vertical air is there, but the launches are so long. We'll watch it again. This is how he came out of the pits. Just blasting the car's trunk to hood into the little mud pit there in the middle and then back over one of the racing lanes. Real hard landing. Look at the fiberglass getting crunched by the right front tire. Did a little damage to that doghouse, and then again, just move to move. This was the big long drive he took at the van stack and that wild side slap again to the bedside there. He will win the freestyle with that run, and I don't think there was any question about that. Talk to Mike in a bit. Muddy track tonight, but you made the most of it and came out on top again on this little summer tour you guys do.
Yeah, unfortunately Friday night got rained out, so we had to make up for it here on Sunday. Yeah, Matt, Cody, and I in the finals, like you said, a little bit of mud out there. Really had to be cautious in the turn not to spin out, but luckily we came out on top.
There you see the round 4 event results. Overkill Evolution with a clean sweep. That's 12 points. It's a perfect score. Iron Warrior, Higher Education, and then Cory Snyder, who struggled here, rounds out the 4-truck field. So you got the 3rd place race in the end of all this, but the mud was playing havoc with everybody tonight.
Yeah, I couldn't get lined up for anything. I think I may have been hitting my rear steer switch too much, but I'm still learning. It's only my 10th show now. I'm 8th in the bus, so hopefully I can get it going.
You got away from this weekend with no broken parts, though. Or, well, not this weekend, but you got away from this show with no broken parts. So, plus the rain, kind of.
Yeah, actually, it's new for me because I'm on my 4th shock now, and it's been almost every week in a row. So it's nice to come out of this show with no broken parts.
Well, Perez with a good showing for himself, but he did drop back in points after 2 3rd places in racing and freestyle. After 4 events, Overkill Evolution has extended that lead to 11 points over Matt Cody. Had a tight race in the final round, but the mud came up and bit you. He was biting everybody tonight.
Oh yeah, Mike Vaters the second threw me in the crappy lane. I tried to beat him there. I was going to take it from him, but I was a nice guy. Went over to the mud pit, and you know what? I launched it off the first hit. We were almost even on the second hit, and then I just spun out trying to spin her around with all that horsepower.
One more look at some of the big air action we saw this afternoon. What a weekend. A rain out Friday. Awesome show on Sunday to make up for it. Do not miss next week where we once again join Mikey in Preston, this time in Little Valley, New York, where they will meet Brutus, Avenger, and the legendary Bigfoot for more wild monster truck competition in the Empire State. Big thanks to Vaters Motorsports for all their help. For everyone at Back Channel Productions, thanks for coming. We'll see you next week on Monster Power.